Patrick is the most exciting, most enjoyable quarterback in football that I've seen in a long time. But I think Patrick and Andy as a combination, and boy, does this get lost in the conversation, guys. The importance of Alex being there, sort of mentoring him a little bit. Patrick has had so much success, and you all know this. The more success you have, the more people don't like you. They root against you. They want something to happen to you because you're doing something very special. And I'm on the other side of that, man. Keep going. Keep put the pedal to the metal and keep rocking, Patrick. I believe that they have wonderful chemistry of understanding where you need to go. And Andy will design the routes. I mean, here's the problem with Travis. He's an inside receiver. Okay. He's not on the outside. So who are you going to cover him with? You're not going to bring a corner in because then they're going to run Pachenko right down your throat. Bottom line. So what happens is the mismatches are great against the defenders. Travis has a wonderful feel and a knack. Patrick knows where he's going to be. He can put the ball in a general vicinity. It doesn't have to be a perfect pass, which is great from a quarterback's perspective. But they have Art Monk was that for me. I talked about Travis this way. When Patrick gets in trouble, Patrick doesn't need to find Travis. Travis is going to find the sight line for Patrick. He looks around, see who's close, and then he moves into an area where he knows Patrick can get him the ball. On the all-time list, I mean, look at the guys that are in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And I think that, I would do him an injustice until it wasn't finally settled of just how great he's going to be. How great he is, but how great he's going to be. Right now, I think he's the best in football. If I had to take if you really held my feet to the fire, I'd say he's top 5 in this league of being the greatest. I mean, you look at Montana, you look at Brady, look at Manning, those guys on that list, Terry. I mean, that's a pretty strong group of guys when it comes to playing the quarterback position. And Patrick is making a case to be something special. He is now, just his creativity. And I think he's done a very good job of protecting the ball this year. A lot of times we see a lot of lookaways. We haven't seen a lot of lookaways this year. Look over here and throw the ball to the right. I mean, and I guarantee you, Andy's just having the time of his life with him. Really, you have to. And when you have someone of that much talent and that creativity, you have to sit down and say, okay, how do we challenge you? I remember talking to Tom Moore, who coached Peyton Manning. Tom, I believe, was in Tampa, I think. And I one of the teams. And I remember talking to Tom about Peyton. He said, I had to come up with different types of plays to motivate Peyton because he was so smart. He was so good at what he did. I had to continue to challenge him in some way. I think Andy does the same thing with Patrick. And so now I think that this is a football team that knows what's out there in front of them. Literally, Andy Reid only needs to walk into the meeting and say, guys, you know what it's about. We've been here before, but we cannot allow this to slip away. Nobody's thinking about 2 in a row. All they're thinking about is beating Baltimore. And that's the one thing that Andy's been able to do is he's really been able to keep his football team focused on the task at hand, not what's laying out there in front of them. Because if Baltimore's had that happen where they've gone in as a favorite and all of a sudden, somebody else winds up going to the dance and you're sitting there wondering what happened. I really feel like that both of these football teams are extremely well coached. Both coaches have, coached a lot of playoff games. Both of them understand each other. Patrick holds it a little bit longer. He has there's so many things that I love about the way he plays the position. And, it's like it's watching an artist. He holds it just long enough. He can make, he throws the ball going to his left darn well as well as he throws it to his right. I mean, just like I say, he's masterful in his way of doing it, and Lamar is masterful in the way that he is doing it. If Kansas City plays the way they've been playing, I think they can win. I think Baltimore presents a bigger problem to them than any defense they've faced, and I believe in defenses. So I'm gonna, don't hate me, okay? I think it's going to be the Ravens, the number 1 seeds. I think the two number 1 seeds are going to go at it. But I mean, if Kansas City wound up going to another Super Bowl, wouldn't surprise me in the least. Like I said, it's a pick 'em.
Yeah,
it's basically a pick 'em. I'm being honest.